Interpol, or the International Criminal Police Organization, saying that social media is being used to recruit people in terrorist organizations, especially our teens and young adults. So let's go in depth now with Lena Derhally. She is a psychotherapist. She's also the author of the book, The Facebook Narcissist. And Lena, thanks for being with us. So walk us through how this happens. Radical and extremist groups using social media to turn little Johnny and little Janie into people who will one day decide to walk into a grocery store and open fire on innocent people, with so many parents saying that couldn't happen to my child, but you say it can.
Yeah, hi, Del. Thanks for having me. You know, it's happening a lot younger than I think people realize, and their white supremacists are even starting to infiltrate gaming, you know, like Roblox and things like that, where they are using chat rooms, and they even have, you know, reenactments of the Christchurch mosque shootings in these gaming rooms. And so, you know, it's starting really young because you have kids as young as 5, 6, 7 using these games, and they could be encountering these type of people who are grooming them. And so I think it starts as young as that age. And then, you know, it goes as they get older, they're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, then they discover 4chan, but it's really everywhere.
Lena, in the Buffalo case, police are pointing to the great replacement theory. That is a theory that is more than 100 years old, but it has new life in many circles. This stuff is online, and you write that social media creates what are called cultural narcissists. Explain.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of copycat things going on right now, especially after the Christchurch mosque shooting in New Zealand. And what these young men are seeing is there's a chance for them to have some notoriety and fame. And I think they all have these antisocial narcissistic traits. And they see that these other people are getting this type of attention. They want the glory. They want to be heroes. They want to be, you know, lauded as these great actors who have done all these amazing things for their cause, even though the cause is one of the most heinous and horrific things you can think of. But what this does is it breeds narcissism, and it kind of goes out into these communities where they think that they can achieve this type of fame and notoriety in their circles, and that's really what they want.
Lena, you say these extremist groups often target our teens and even young children with their messages, but what can parents do? And any parent of a teen knows the parents are the last people the teens talk to.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, you know, obviously teens act in different and strange ways sometimes. And just because they're quiet or isolated doesn't mean they're being recruited to, you know, to be radical extremists. But you do want to look out for, you know, a type of speak that they have, which they could be using things like, you know, the white supremacy, or they could be angry that and act entitled, you know, or they could say racial stereotypes and things like, you know, people are coming and taking their jobs. And so you can sort of tell in the type of language, especially if it's not the rhetoric you use in your household. If you have to ask, where is my kid coming up with this stuff or talking like this? You know, you have to start thinking that maybe it is coming from online, and you want to be monitoring, you know, who your kids are talking to, asking open-ended questions. You know, what is this game that you're doing? Who are these people you're talking to? And just really being aware and, you know, trying to really get deeper with them to find out why they may be acting different or having different views than you may have in your own household.
Lena, if you want to make an enemy for life of your children, try and take away their cell phone. They're actually wed to it. And we look at them and they always seem to be so innocent, just sitting there playing with their cell phone. But now we know they're being targeted. We talk an awful lot about these theories that are being broadcast, but don't these social media companies have a responsibility too? Because actually someone out there is paying to put out this mess, and the platforms are making money off of the hits that they produce. In social media, as you know, crazy sells.
Yeah. And, you know, yeah, addiction is a huge problem. And I think these big tech social media companies have a huge responsibility, and nobody's holding them accountable, to be honest. You know, they know that these things are addictive. They know that divisiveness is what drives engagement. In fact, you know, we have studies that show that the most divisive and vitriolic tweets on Twitter are the ones that get the most engagement and retweets. And the social media companies know this, and they won't do anything about it as long as it's making them money. And so, I think as a society, we really need to come together and start holding these companies accountable, because they really need to do more.
And it's actually easier than trying to get that cell phone away from your children. Lena Derhally, she is a psychotherapist, also the author of the book, The Facebook Narcissist. You see it there. Lena, as always, we thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Del.